What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of All Things Baltimore Sports podcast, brought to you by Great Eights Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. Tonight is a special Elimination Chamber match preview show, and I have John from Chair Shot Sports joining the show, and we have a very special guest as well. I am super excited about this guest coming on. First and foremost, John from Chair Shot. John, what's going on, buddy?
How we doing, Matt? How's everything going?
Everything's going good. Taking place in Australia this year, and it's gonna be 5 a.m. But let's get into it a little bit and bring on our guest. He is from the Attitude Era. He has graced our TV screens throughout the course of one of the best eras in professional wrestling. He has a wrestling school here in the state of Maryland. He's involved in the independent scene still, and he is an avid Baltimore Ravens fan. Duane Gill, most people know him as Gilbert. What's going on, Duane?
All right. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic. Just want to talk a little bit about some professional wrestling. We don't get a chance to talk about that much on here.
Sounds good to me, man.
I'm rating professional wrestling. All right. So John, I know that you've been looking forward to this, brother. You got any questions for Duane before we kick the show off?
I just want to know how the whole character came about. Like, when were you approached by that? How did it come to light? Like, whose idea was it? Like, how did the whole thing manifest into you being the Gilbert character that we know and love from the Attitude Era?
I made it up. Yeah. A guy named Stud Lee was back working for MCW, and he was like, "Hey, man, let's do this gimmick, man." And I said, "Oh, it sounds great, man. Let's do it." So we did it, and I was at WWF, and I was talking to Paul Baron Kane backstage doing a house show, and I was telling him about, yeah, man, on the Independence, I was making fun of all you guys, man. I said I did Stone Old, and they started laughing their ass off. I said I did the Underfaker. I said, and I did Gilbert, and Paul looks at me and goes, "Oh, Duane Gill, you may have something there, boy." And I was like, "Yeah, right." So the rest of the night, every time I walk by him, they're going, "Gilbert. Yeah, and, we're laughing and all. So the next day was TVs. And I go in, catering, and I'm sitting there getting my plate and everything, and everybody's going, all the boys are going, "Gilbert, Gil." So I jumped up, and everybody laughed, and I thought that was it. Well, I got back to the office. I honestly say Paul Bear had something to do with it. You know what I mean? And he definitely, went and said, "You guys got to do this." So we did it. They actually didn't know what I was going to do when I went out there the first night. They had no clue.
That's awesome. It's the sparklers for me, man. When it came out, awesome. That's what it did it for me. That killed me, dude. That's what I was like. This is awesome. I love seeing this on TV. It was awesome.
Well, that was them. The sparklers was them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. And the fire extinguisher was dry ice. It wasn't a real fire extinguisher.
Awesome. I love the whole thing. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was today or yesterday was the 25th anniversary of when I wrestled Shane McMahon. When I speared China and bounced off.
Oh, wow. It has been that long. Yeah. Wow.
Yep. All my friends say, man, that has got to be in the top 10 of the funniest segments ever in the history of WWF.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, it was.
Love it.
It was funny, man. I told her, I said, "China,
that's
man,
amazing.
Bounce right off you." And she goes, "No way, man." And we did it. She goes, "You're wild, man."
She must have been awesome to work with. That's awesome.
Joni was such a sweetheart, man. You really don't know. You know what I mean? when she was in there, she was 100% all about it. You know what I mean?
Awesome. She seemed it.
Yeah, the way she died was nothing the way she was when she was up there.
Wow.
And she had contract and everything. That girl was on top of everything, man. I'll tell you that right now. She was awesome.
Agreed.
But anyway, okay, back to what we were talking about.
Duane, I wanted
Don't want to throw a bumper.
Duane, I
on
wanted
it,
to
know
ask
what
you,
I
man.
mean?
No, I can talk. I can talk this a whole other podcast. You know what I mean?
Hey, Duane, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
Did you ever encounter Goldberg at any wrestling show after imitating him?
yeah. WWE, man. We 2 or 3 times we did the Rock concert. We did another segment. I forget which it was. Yeah, we did a couple segments, but I saw him at the big event in New York, and we were both there. And I said, I want to see Goldberg, and he was down in the room by himself. And I went down there. He pressed me and everything, man. As soon as he pressed me, it was like a press conference, dude. Cameras everywhere, man. That was just when he was getting ready to make his comeback. And
That
I
is
gave him a hug,
amazing. That is.
he goes, thanks a lot, brother. I said, for what? He said, if you wouldn't have been out there doing your thing, they probably would have forgot about me, and I'm getting this run because of you. I said, well, good. While you're in a good mood, why don't we have this match? You against me. You'll make $1 million. I'll make 100 grand. I can retire, and we'll be all over this. He goes, nope. Just like that. That's why you've never seen a Gilbert doll. Never seen Gilbert on a video game or nothing, because I can't prove it. But let's just say the people I know in the know say he's got a thumb on me and has it in his contract and all that I can't have doo-doo.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Number one wanted
That's insane.
in Jax for 1.5 years when I first came out.
Wow.
Yeah. Never got nothing.
Wow.
Never say never, though. Never
That's
say never.
incredible, man. Just to know that.
Hold on. Ready for this? Cello Toys, baby. I got the very first one.
That's awesome.
Look at that, baby, right there.
That is so damn
Yeah,
cool.
everybody, look. Here, I got the whole. I'll show you the cards, man, and everything. Look, here's the whole series. The first series. Me, Meanie, Atom Bomb, Macho Man, Ultimo Dragon, Sonny Ono. See it?
Wow.
That's the first series right there. And when
Wow.
you get this, you get my card right here. Tells about me on the back. Look, check it out. This is awesome. This is the very first one, though. They messed up, but this is actually the very first doll, the prototype. They didn't put the tattoo on it, so they had to take, that's why they're not out yet, because they're putting the tattoos on everything.
I feel like when you do this as a profession and like you get into it, you kind of get up to the WWE. That's how you know you've made it. When you go to the store, you go to Walmart, you go to Toys R Us,
brother.
There's you in a box. That's awesome.
My first one, man.
That's amazing. Oh man,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it, man.
Oh
Thanks.
man, I'd be staring at that thing if that was. I'd be like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually an action figure. That's
happy,
awesome.
brother. He's happier now. Called the Bone Crushers. Yep. Oh man, yeah, man. When you said something, I was, oh yeah, check him out. My wife, I said, what are you gonna do when I got 100 of them in there? She said, never go in your room. She said, sick, man. She said they look too much like you, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, I was laughing my ass off.
I love it. That's amazing. That's awesome, man. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you said something, man. It's my first one ever. And it's Duane Gill. It isn't Gilbert. You know what I mean? It's Gill. So that nobody can say nothing about nothing. They were smart. But I own the Gilbert now. I own the name and everything now.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've bought it since we did all this.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'm happy as hell. I had to.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, it's your character. You came up with it. I mean, WWF used it, but it's your character. I mean,
care at all. They even told me, go have fun. You know what I mean? Don't worry about nothing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a blast. And I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were a Baltimore boy, brother. I see the Ravens little emblem back there in the background.
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Oh, yes, sir. Me too, man. I'm Pasadena boy.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Dina boy,
born and
bro.
raised.
Man, if I showed you,
I'm looking at some.
Watch this. Look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna just take a little tour here. All right. I'm gonna show you, man, my walls. Look.
No problem.
Can you see them?
Yeah, there we go. The Ravens memorabilia.
Look at this. Everything, man.
Yeah.
Brother.
You got the official Ravens man cave. I love it. I love it, Duane.
Now, that's half of it.
Oh, that's badass.
The other half is
awesome, man.
me wrestling, see? And of course my curtains are all ready.
Oh yeah, there you go.
See, look, it's all
there we go.
Wrestling. All my stuff around here.
Hey, Duane, I'm looking at Duane, I'm looking at some of the comments coming in on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And you were the baseball coach for one of my really good friends at work, JD Grafey.
Oh, JD, that's my boy, man.
Kid.
Oh, JD, yeah.
He said you were his base.
Okay.
Me and JD work in the same profession.
Oh, yeah, really?
JD's a good dude.
I love JD. Now he's a really good dude. So his parents. His parents are really good guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known JD about 14 years now.
Yeah, I've known him a lot longer than you. JD was about 9 years old when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good kid. Good kid.
JD was a trainer for. He trained me on one of the details that I worked with him. He trained me to be a canine officer about 10 years ago. He was my trainer. So
awesome.
Now he's my firearms trainer. That man is incredible.
Oh yeah, he is. JD's a good guy, man. Good guy. Tell him I said hi, will you?
Yeah,
I'm sure he's probably watching.
I'll definitely pass that along. He's watching right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. I wanted to ask you though. Duane, how's it with the independent scene here in Maryland? Great.
I'm currently involved a lot with I do things for MCW still. If I don't know if you know it or not, but Barry Hardy, myself, and Axel Rotten are the three that started MCW back in '89. And then I kept running MCW because I owned a Monster Factory and all. And then I had to quit because Barry and I got on the road so much. We were on the road like 28 days a month. So I wasn't really running my school. You know what I mean? So it wasn't fair. So I stopped. And Dan McDivitt, who owns everything now, he said he was going to, he was one of my students. And he said, Duane, I'm going to start a school. Can I use MCW? I said, go, Dan. Great. Go for it, man. And look what he's done with it. My God, man. It is definitely one of the top independents in the world, man. You got to admit.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do a
powerhouse organization on the East Coast.
Yes, sir. And I do a lot now with ACW, Adrenaline Championship Wrestling with James Ellsworth.
I see you guys at the Ravens tailgates a lot online.
Oh yeah. You ought to stop by, man. You ought to stop by.
I'll definitely take you up on that this coming season. If I see you guys around the stadium, I'll definitely swing through. But wanted to talk a little bit about Elimination Chamber. John, I'm gonna let you kind of lead this segment off here, buddy. What are some of the matches you're looking forward to?
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I think this is going to be an awesome PLE. It's the second one in a row that they've gone to the format of just 4 matches. I think it's really good to have that for the Rumble and for Elimination Chamber. I think you're focusing really on letting the matches tell the stories that need to be told going into WrestleMania, not trying to put 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on one PLE. Save that for Mania. They have 2 nights. They can put plenty of matches on each night. Obviously, each chamber match, looking for number 1 contenders for the belts. It's going to be amazing. Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley in her home country defending the belt. The Grayson Waller effect, that's going to have Cody and Seth on it as well. That's going to be an amazing segment. I think it's going to set a lot of things up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And obviously the tag match, Judgment Day, is going to be taking on Pete Dunne. I think it's going to be awesome. Again, I think that's being done for a reason as well. I think they're going to be looking to split those tag belts up going into WrestleMania. We'll talk about that when we start breaking down the matches. But I think even in the chambers as well, the participants that are in there, that's going to be telling its own story for who pins who's involved in what, and who getting eliminated. I think that's going to tell stories and set a lot of matches up for the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to definitely have an extreme ripple effect on Mania. Duane, I wanted to ask you, man. The product today, it's starting to be hot again. WWE's operating, on they're firing on all cylinders these days. Rumble season and Mania season. Being as though the pay-per-view is still relatively newer in this whole process.
What do I think about the product? To be honest with you, I like the old product, but the newer stuff, they're starting to get back to some of the older stuff. They're starting to work now. They're not flip flop. They're actually selling now. And that's what's been missing a lot, if you ask me, selling, because you can't do 85 moves to somebody and have them kick out. I'm sorry, brother. You got it. Thank God for Randy Orton. He brought back a finish move. You know what I mean? It's hard, man, nowadays. It's like, what is a finish move? Everybody's finish to one person. I mean, you'll see 4 finishes on a guy in a row, and then he'll go for the pin and he kicks out.
It's a little tough to watch. I and that's just as a fan. I mean, but you've been in the business for 35 plus years, so I can understand that you have a understanding of the psychology aspect of wrestling.
Well, see, what it is what you want to do is you want to make the fan believe every single thing you're doing in there hurts as bad and is killing you and busting you up. Nowadays it is. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we would work and, we wouldn't do half the stuff that the people are doing to each other nowadays. And everybody knows what it is now, and they're trying to kill each other in the ring. You know what I mean? If you watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely a different style of product. Back from when you were on TV in the ring, it was a lot more storytelling, a lot more slower paced. But it seemed like it was more physical in an aspect of actual physicality in the 1 versus 1 aspect, as opposed to like you said, all the flips and the high depth defying moves and all that. It seems like they're trying to put a current spin and try to replicate what you guys did 25, 30 years ago.
Right. That's exactly it. But you gotta like I said, thank God for Randy Orton, and now Kevin Owens with the stunner. He brought back the stunner. They have finish moves. You know what I mean? Randy said, I'm staying old school. I don't care what, and that's exactly the way he runs his stuff. He doesn't do all that flipping and flopping. You know what I mean? You gotta when you wrestle Randy, you got to sell. You got to do your part. And that's what's great about it. It isn't, okay, I can do 75 moves and then you do 75 back to me. And then the 76th one, you can win. That, man, that isn't wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling is telling a story out there and making the fans want to be, oh God, I want to kill you because you're beating up my guy. You know what I mean?
I can understand. John, I know that you understand as well as a wrestling fan. You want to be invested in everything you're watching, and it's sometimes it's very difficult to be invested when it's you know 15 false finishes before the actual finish of the match.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the false finishes. I think one of the best things, that could have happened for WWE in the wrestling business is to kind of take the old regime out, and kind of having Paul Levesque, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, these guys in charge, and these guys are from the Gilbert era. They're from the Attitude Era. They know how to sell. They know about the storytelling. Exactly how he was saying. You're invested in the match. You're on your edge of your seat. It's not 1-2, oh, 1-2, oh. Like, how many times can you take a finisher and kick out? You know what I mean? Again, it's not. We know it's fake, okay? We know it's predetermined, but at least give me something where I can believe in it. you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely no. So I and that's why I used the term when I was talking about the PLE. It's the storytelling. I think they've gotten back, whether it's a short-term payoff or a long-term payoff when you're talking bloodline and things like that. The Cody Rhodes story, is it going to end at Mania? Does it keep going? The storytelling aspect, I think, is so key, is bringing a lot of people, not just the young kids, but a lot of people, my age. I'll be 40 this year. A lot of middle-aged people who watched it back in the 90s and early 2000s, bringing them back into it, and they're invested in it and watching it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And Cody Rhodes has to win this time, or they're gonna. In all honesty, they're gonna shit on it if not. They're gonna you and your story. They're Cody's not that big of a sob. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that. And I truthfully think they'll shit on it. They've got Cody right, man. Right now, you let him win this time, he will be the biggest face. He'll be Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? For the next 2 to 3 years, that's who you want to keep your belt on. That's who will raise your company. That's who will bring money through the door. Because as far as house shows, they don't mean nothing to them anymore. That isn't their revenue anymore. TV is their revenue. The house show is nothing.
No, I agree. I think Cody.
I agree with you, Duane, about Cody 100%. I almost feel like they missed the boat last year by having Roman beat him. Now, like, the only thing that really like kind of muddies this whole thing for me, Duane, is what, like, I understand the star power of The Rock, and I think all of us that for nostalgia purposes want to see The Rock, but I think now having him align with Roman, where are they taking this?
It's gonna be a turn. It's gonna be a turn. Rock can't stay the heel. He's got this new league opening up more. The new football league and everything. I can't see him staying a heel. No, sir. Can't see that at all. He's got to do the turn.
Oh, the turn's coming. It's coming. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We get a whole. Go ahead.
You're here because of me, not because of you. You know what I mean? I can see all that coming. I can see that coming my way. Now, one thing I want to touch on, Rhea Ripley. What do you think about that? I think, truthfully, she should kick Nia Jax's ass and pin her 1, 2, 3 cleanly in the middle of the ring.
I agree.
You put her as the most dominant thing in the world. Just have Nia Jax like a King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy come in and was going through everybody, but when he bumped into Hogan, he didn't go through that. You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, because everything that Nia Jax has done has just destroyed Rhea Ripley every time she's attacked. So I think Rhea should. My feeling is Rhea should go over big time. 1, 2, 3 cleanly in the middle of the ring with no help.
That's the key for me. That's exactly. It has to be clean. It has to be by herself, no help, and that just makes her like that much more of a beast going into Mania.
She's so badass, man. They've got her so badass.
And it's so believable too. It's not even like it's an Alexa Bliss, a little like it's so believable that she's out there doing this to all these divas. Like, it's nuts.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's unreal, man. You got what's her name who comes out with the big back and all, and I'm going, yeah, look at Rhea Ripley's back to yours though.
It's 2 times.
You know what I mean? Rhea's a big old girl, man. She'll kick your bootay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's believable. It's almost like you brought her up, China and stuff like that. She's the one person believable that she could go for like the men's title, where she could actually take one of these men and hit them 1, 2, 3.
So believable when she did the hardcore match and everything. So believable. I mean, you believed every single thing. You know, it was great. Yeah, no, they did that so beautiful. Back then, like I say, you're talking different things. Now, like you said, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Paul, Triple H, running everything. Those are the guys that helped me, taught me, learned me, man, refined my stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I stand behind them a million percent, because I really believe they're going to do stuff to bring the business back to where it was, because they don't want to lose their jobs. You know what I mean? And their hearts are in it. I know. I mean, Shawn, everybody can say whatever they want about Shawn, but every time I have ever spoke to Shawn or had an interaction with Shawn Michaels, he's always tried to help me. Every time. Triple H tried to help me every single time. I remember when Triple H came in, I was up there. You know what I mean? I was doing jobs up there. When Triple H came in, he sit and talk to us all the time. So, I mean, I remember everything. You know, it was those guys are unreal. Road Dogg, hell, I used to tag the Road Dogg on the Independence. You know?
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's how old I am. You know, and I was
we grew up watching you, man.
Absolutely. I know I did. Absolutely, man. Those segments are money, man. I loved it.
Hey, and even though it might have been a comedic act, but knowing that you've honed your craft and you're still doing it to this day and you're still heavily involved, it makes it even more special all these years later as an adult, like seeing you involved with Maryland Championship Wrestling, and then knowing that you were at the pinnacle in WWE and you got a chance to work with all these great superstars for multiple years. It's like you provide legitimacy to what you're doing for the independents. And for a while, Maryland Championship Wrestling was feeding Ring of Honor before they closed down.
Oh yeah,
it was the feeder system.
Unbelievable things with Maryland Championship Wrestling. Unbelievable.
I do want to ask you about before we keep on talking about the chamber. I don't want to get too sidetracked, Duane. But how do you feel about Patrick Clark coming back and starting his apology reputation building tour?
Don't follow that part too much. You know,
he just got back in the ring the other day.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll say this, what he was accused of was absolutely out of order, and I don't agree with any of it. It was undeniable, though. He was a generational talent.
What is Patrick Clark's work name?
Velveteen Dream.
Okay, now I know who and what you're talking about. See what I mean?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think there's a lot of people out there prosecuted a hell of a lot worse for a hell of a lot less. Okay, and you know it as well as I do. More power to you, brother. Go for it if you think it'll go over. But I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Great. Let's say, way to go, man. You know, go for it. You know, but
before all this started, I thought he was the next big thing to come up at NXT.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
He had so much promise.
And he gave you Macho Man vibes.
Yes sir. That's why I say go for it. You know, way to go for it. But I just don't know if the fans are going to accept it. I don't know, man.
Understood.
I don't.
So, getting back over to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, our premium live event, for the men's chamber match, where the winner will face the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. For the purposes of storyline, who do you think needs to walk out of there the winner to face Seth at WrestleMania?
Drew.
Okay.
I think. Do you agree?
Absolutely, it's got to be Drew. It's got to be.
Has to be, and Drew has to beat Seth.
Yep.
Drew has to become. I thought Drew was a great champion, to be honest with you. And as a heel, oh my God, he's really doing the heel part great. So yeah, definitely let him have it as the heel, and have him and Seth go at it back and forth for a while. Now you could run the whole trilogy again. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I struggle with McIntyre's character. Now I'm not hip to the business like you are in terms of character development. Um, I don't see Drew. Maybe I'm alone in this show right here, but I don't see the appeal to Drew McIntyre being must see television.
Really?
As
I
a
like Drew.
champion.
I like Drew. He's a
Maybe I'm
big
wrong.
and he's what a wrestler's supposed to be. He isn't 5'8", 175 pounds saying, I'm world champion. Come on, man. A guy like Drew could hit you with his thumb and knock you off in real life. You know what I mean? Let's be for real. You know, you got to remember where I'm coming from. I made it to 250, and I was a small guy. You know what I mean? Back in wrestling, to me, is basically a freak show. You have to be an oddity, basically a huge, giant, muscled up guy, or just a huge, heavy, gigantic guy like the Big Show, or you know what I mean? Or you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
You have to be larger than life so that the fans want to see you. It to me, it takes a lot out of it when you have a smaller guy. You know what I mean? Like AJ Styles, the way he just came back all jacked up, man. Look at, oh man, he looks great now. Now he looks very believable. You know what I'm saying? All that skill he has and all, but he was just so small before. Now he looks like he'd kick your ass.
That's true. And it's crazy because I'm looking at the top of the card in WWE, Duane, and John, I know you can probably attest to this as well because um it's filled with guys that are now in their early to mid 40s. It seems like 40 is the new 25. It's the new prime for wrestling right now.
No, it really is. These guys are timeless, man. It's nuts. And with, the advancements in like training, regiments, just keeping their body. Bobby Lashley is a big, R-Truth. R-Truth looks the same he has back when he was in TNA. Like it's ridiculous. But no, you're absolutely right. I'm telling you, but no, it's a lot of guys are just 40's a new 20. I feel like the brand extension, the draft that they do keeps these guys not wrestling. They're still wrestling 3-4 times a week. WWE's slowing down their house shows, so it's not too crazy of a schedule now. So they're not working as much as they were maybe like 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, I'm telling you, these guys are in phenomenal shape, and some of them have those signs of stopping.
Absolutely. I know that this happened a couple months ago, Duane, and this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you. John and I got a chance to talk about this. I think we did a Survivor Series show, John. Or it was the Rumble, maybe.
We did the Rumble. Yep.
CM Punk back in WWE, first match back on TV, tears his tricep.
He can't break, can he?
Kind of took the wind out of the sails towards the Mania build. No, he can't, man. It just seems like it was one thing after the other, and he finally seemed like he was happy and back home.
I'm a big fan of Punk. Okay, I know Phil pretty well. He's a hell of a guy. He really is, and he deserves everything he gets. Sometimes he does speak a little bit out of line, but it's worked for him. You know what I mean? And honestly, you got to admit, man's made his money. I'll tell you. But as far as man, he gets a good thing, and he's happy. he's ready to work. I'm telling you that man right now, he's probably pissed off that he can't do it. You know what I mean? That to me, I think it sucks, man, that it happened to him, and I wish him all the best.
Absolutely. Somebody else I wanted to talk about, in this whole WrestleMania season, John, I know that you're a fan of his. I'm a fan of him as well. Jay Uso is doing some incredible work now that he's away from the bloodline and away from his brother. Do you think he should eventually be the one that unseats Gunther as Intercontinental Champion? Or do you believe that Gunther should hold it, win another heavyweight title, either Universal or the World Heavyweight, and kind of just relinquish it without ever really taking a pinfall?
No, I think Jay should definitely win it from Gunther and then let Gunther move on to a world title, because I believe in Gunther, man. He's definitely badass, He definitely should hold a title for sure. But
he's your throwback wrestler on this roster.
Huh?
Just like Orton. He's another throwback wrestler on this roster, just like Randy Orton, like you alluded to earlier.
Sell too. He makes you sell. He don't flip-flop fly around. He goes in there and beats the hell out of you. And that's what it's about. Genuine heel. You know what I mean?
And he's getting better on the mic. I like Ludwig Kaiser with him, and I think that he's got that star power element. I've watched him since he was in NXT UK, and I saw the progression. He lost the weight. He got in better shape. He got on national TV every single week here in America. I believe that he's probably going to be the face of the company at some point in time, along with Cody.
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
What about you, John? Do you think Gunther's that guy?
110%. He's that guy. They're building him as that final boss. I think eventually when he does lose that belt, I feel the same way it should be Jey Uso. He's earned it. He's been ever since he's got away from the bloodline. He's done an amazing job in the matches that he's been in. Personally, I think Gunther's going to hold it to the Berlin PLE that they have, possibly drop it there or do some kind of Ultimate Warrior thing where he, they like you alluded to, maybe he wins it and is a double champ for a little bit. But they're definitely building him to be the final boss and an amazing, amazing champion when he finally gets a hold of a world title.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it how he's trying to be the biggest, worst heel in the world, but the fans are all starting to turn right to him. Another Orton.
Yep.
Orton is a heel, but they love him. You know what I mean?
Because they believe in the character. That's what it is.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. They think that the guy that walks in the ring is the guy that walks around everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a wild card in all this, though, guys, that hasn't really been talked about a whole lot. Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and where does he fit into all of this? Do you see a cash in at the PLE? Do you see a cash in at Mania? Where does he fit into all this? Because he's doing great work with the Judgment Day, and
I love the Judgment Day because they are. Even though they got Dominic and all in there, they're not flip-flop flyers. They beat the hell out of you. You know what I mean? And that's why, they're all starting to go back to where they're selling. You know what I mean? It's starting to go back, and that's what it needs to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, because this is arguably Finn Balor's best work since he turned heel.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I've never had a match on the independents or in WWE after I became a name where I didn't involve the crowd. I mean, literally get out, talk to the crowd, get them involved into them. You know what I mean? Make sure that they were part of the match. And it's the way I was taught and the way you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where do you guys see? You both of you guys can answer the question and give your input. Where do you see the cash in happening?
Personally, we did a prediction show for everything going on with me. I had it going on the night after Mania on Raw with the scenario that but I don't know, with Punk not there, and I mean if Drew does go over, I can't see. I don't know. I honestly, at this point, I can't see where he's going to. I mean, he has what,
Hey,
three more months, I think, before the year's up. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. If it's Cody, he's not going to cash in on Cody. I mean,
No.
that's just, you can't do that. So it's going to have to be on Raw. I mean, because he can cash in either one. But I don't know.
What do you think about Drew wins as he's celebrating? Boom.
I mean, that would work because of the character with Drew, with the quote unquote the woe is me, can't ever get over, always getting beat, always never my time. So that would actually make sense. And if we're doing the storytelling, Drew helped the Judgment Day by helping him at Survivor Series, in the match, like helping them out with all of that. So no, it was Survivor Series.
They slide in like, hey, here we go. Let's congratulate Drew. Wow.
Boom. Yep.
1, 2, 3.
So I mean,
he's
that would
kind of
be
had
the
a
only
loose
way to do it.
affiliation to them, because I believe he tagged with them for War Games.
Here to congratulate him.
Yeah. Someone's going to come down and boop, that's got to be the only way to do it, because you can't. Cody's untouchable. Cody wins that belt. That's a long run.
And there you go. Plus, Drew could keep with his nice. See, I don't get a fair shot. I don't get done.
And not for nothing, it's not guaranteed. I know it makes him look weak. I know it could take away from Priest. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's not successful in the cash.
It would
Maybe he's unsuccessful. Blames the Judgment Day, and that leads to the breakup of the Judgment Day, and Damian finally getting a singles run for this part of his career. That's another route too. So
there you go. It could turn right around too. As Damian does that, they could all be in the ring actually celebrating Drew. Damian hit him with the case, hand ref the case, 1, 2, 3, win the title. Everybody's going, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm the champ. I'm the champ. Just grabs the belt and walks out. Now McIntyre is part of the Judgment Day, and Damian just quit.
that as well.
That's a wild theory right there too.
I like it,
because I was thinking, what if they do the cash in during the match between Seth and Drew, if Drew's the winner of the Elimination Chamber, to where Damian cashes in and pins Seth, and McIntyre loses his title match without even taking a pinfall.
Oh, I see. Like
that's good.
Seth and McIntyre beat the hell out of each other, and they're both laying down. Maybe McIntyre's outside the ring or whatever. Out comes Damian. Whack! 1, 2, 3. Loses the title and leaves.
And then there you go. You just set up your main event for Backlash.
If you want to talk about because if you want to talk about long-term storytelling, Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania the exact same way on Roman and Brock. Mid-match,
yep.
Brock was out of the ring, Roman's down. So if you want to kind of, go full circle, there's your opportunity right there.
That's perfect. True. That's perfect. The heist of the century, baby.
This guy could come out and go,
I love it.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. This is the most excited I've been about WWE wrestling in a very long time. It's just been so much fun to tune in week to week. Now I'm not fast forwarding through 90% of the shows on DVR anymore. I'm actually taking my time and actually watching the progression of these storylines, and like John alluded to earlier, Duane, all we've been wanting for so long is the storytelling aspect to come back, and we feel like it's coming back in such an amazing way. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Hunter and Sean are running things, and they were masters in the art of their storytelling.
Yep. I'll agree 1,000%.
It's been incredible to watch.
Yes, sir.
Now, Duane, I wanted to ask you, do you like how they break WrestleMania down into the entire weekend now?
Yeah, but they got so much, you got to. You know what I mean? I kind of liked it back in the day. You had Fan Fest Saturday and then WrestleMania Sunday. No, I didn't. You didn't have 2 shows.
Yeah. I mean, I remember those times now, but it seems like they've maximized that weekend now to where it's SmackDown on Friday night. You got the Hall of Fame induction, and then you got night 1, night 2. They usually have NXT somewhere, you know, floating around as well, and then you get the Raw after Mania, and they do it all in one city. I mean, it's like a huge event, and they package the tickets that way to where you can buy tickets to everything. And with it being in Philadelphia this year, are you going to head up?
I probably will. I'll probably be up there in the Fan Fest and all.
That's amazing, man. That's so cool that you still get to do all that all these years later.
Oh yeah.
Before I think having your own action figure is one of the coolest things in the world as a wrestling fan. I used to collect them as a little kid.
I do too. Let me tell you, I do too.
Love it.
I'm excited as all get out, man. I can't wait to get my box of them. You know what I mean?
I'll definitely buy one from you as long as you autograph it.
That's no problem. You know that, man.
Likewise, I'll take 2. Absolutely, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready for sure. I can't wait.
But before we wrap the show, Duane, it's been a pleasure talking wrestling with you, talking shop. You're one of the brilliant minds. You've brought fantastic wrestling to Maryland and the East Coast with MCW. You're a pillar here in terms of notoriety with the wrestling world, and we're both avid Ravens fans. Our boys lost at home. I know you were at the game. Early prediction, man. I just want to get an early prediction for you with the Ravens next year. What do you think? What do you think is going to go on for us, man?
We're gonna win. I'm a Ravens fan, brother. We're gonna win.
I damn well hope so too. Are you an Orioles guy too?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll be at opening day. So
very good friend of mine.
There we go, man. Hey, that'll do it for the Elimination Chamber preview, folks. Thank you all for tuning in, for commenting. And Duane, I want to thank you so much. John, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule and giving our listeners a nice Elimination Chamber preview show. Duane, if you want to go ahead and plug anything you got going on, where people can find you on social media.
My deal is Cella Toys, man. Cella Toys, bone crushers. There it is, man. Let me hold on 1 second. Where's that at? Right here. Look. Bone crushers, man, right there. Go right there and you will see.
Okay.
Be out any day. I'm waiting for them right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. John, thank you as always, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show and kind of letting us do a joint venture kind of thing. Let everybody know where they can find you on your neck of the woods, brother.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure's all mine. Yeah, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. It's all the same. Chair Shot Sports.
Sounds good. If you guys want to hang around for post show for a couple minutes, I'm going to wrap this up live. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We'll be back next week with a little bit more sports coverage for Baltimore sports. Have a couple baseball shows coming up, so tune in next week.